Welcome to ToV Live. It is Valhalla time where we get back to reading some journal books from Thormun. Yes, indeedy tonight. Hello, everybody. Good Sunday evening to you. Welcome to the ToV live stream. We are live recording the ToV Podcast, episode number 53. I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, or you can call me Tails. And with me tonight we have some of our usual regular panel with us tonight. We have Josiah, Roguescaper. We have Jeremy, the excellent Cullet. And we have, who's super concentrated right now, Joe Crazy, who is Joe Crazy 3193. And tonight we, again, like I was saying, we're going to be reading through some of Thormun's journals. We haven't done that in a little while, so before the busyness of the summer is going to happen, to where we start diving into like ScapeCon, Delta Points, other things when it comes to units, miniatures, tournament gameplay, map building, all that stuff over the summer that we plan to do, including probably other new Heroscape stuff that's probably going to be announced in June as well. The summer's going to be just crazy busy. We're deciding.
I'm doomed. The summer's okay. So like in my case, right? We got the Heroscape announcements coming out, right? But also Destiny Final Shape drops the first week of June, and then Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail drops the last week in June. And so somehow I have to manage to fit both of those in while covering the Heroscape announcements.
It's gonna be insane. But
wild.
At least tonight we have time
summer.
to have just a nice kind of easy night to where we're just going to go through some Heroscape lore, have some fun with it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's good to know a little bit about the game that you love. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is why we have our lore master with us tonight.
We were supposed to have cups of tea.
Didn't you get the memo?
Just don't spill it.
I didn't get. Yeah.
What are we drinking when we're drinking during these streams?
Usually it's an energy drink.
Literally,
that's
straight vodka.
No, because like I just got off of work. So this is 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Yep.
I drink straight cold brew just to get me through. So.
And hey Justin, how you doing tonight? There in the chat, and it says, and we finally get a new college football video game this summer. Yay!
Nice.
All right, but anyway, so yeah, gonna be doing Thormun's journals in a little bit. First, we're gonna go through some shout outs. I usually say YouTube shout outs, but there's actually shout outs from different sources other than YouTube that we got to talk about, as well as some comments from the last stream, which was a really good last stream. Thank you so much again, JJ Odin, for joining us, and it was a very special podcast last time, so we did enjoy it a lot. And I just want to give a quick shout out to also the Spotify followers out there, because they keep on, we're almost to, and I usually don't announce this publicly, but we're almost to like 1,000, surpassing 1,000 total like views on just the Spotify side of things, like the audio version side of things. So that's really cool that you actually have a little bit of an audience of people listening to us out there in the audio sphere. That's just insane. But we thank everybody who likes to tune in just on the audio part and doesn't see us visually. They don't have to. They can just hear the wonderful melodious sound of our voices, which, I mean, I know these guys are great. I don't know about myself. I just I power through these things.
We don't self-depreciate in this chat.
Yeah,
this is true.
You're great, King.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's the word for it when people start addressing someone's like behavior or something that needs to be addressed about them? What's it called again? Usually comes to my mind.
Observation or
no, it's when someone's confronted by a bunch of friends over something They could have an addiction or something.
Intervention.
Intervention.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Okay, I feel like I need an intervention right now. Yeah, Justin actually beat us to it. He said there in the chat.
Dang.
So yeah, that's what I feel like. I think I need an intervention now. Okay, I'll get the big head back on and be full of myself again. Okay, so how about
It's called self-confidence is good.
self-confidence is
Self-confidence.
good, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, and I'm just looking at here. Okay, we did that. Okay, now let's get into shout outs first. Now, I'm not going to pop these up on the screen. Well, actually, there's something to pop up on the screen about this. But let's first... some stuff I'm going to put inside our windows here so you guys can see them. And then there's some that I'm just going to have basically online that I'm going to pop up. And let me see what I have first here on the Google side of things. What are we talking about first? Okay, we'll just do this one first because this one can get a little complicated. All right, so first shout out is, and everybody's gonna be thinking like, why? Like, or some people like, yay, and some people are like, wait, what? What is it? Why are they shouting out this? All things Heroscape. All things Heroscape. And now my whole audience just left the building. You know, there's like, wait, what are you
Ends
talking
call. No, I was kidding. You see me disappear.
Click. Yeah, there goes
What
Jeremy.
happened with all things Heroscape, Ryan? What did they do? Did they do something bad this time? Good sometimes? What happened? Is everything free now? Is that what happened?
Whoa.
Are they running out of things to sell? What happened?
That would be interesting. But no, there is actually something that I do want to give them a lot of love for. Something that was very classy, and that's going to be in photos that I am going to pop up on the screen so you guys can see it right away. So here, give me a moment. I'm going to do a screen share here. I was like, where's that screen share? Okay, there's that screen share, and then I have to go to this window. And then I have to go to this window, and then I have to find this one, and then it should share with you all. Okay, there it is. All right, so popping up on the screen here.
All right, let's see. What do we got?
I'm gonna try to zoom. Can I zoom this in?
Uh-oh.
Yes. Okay. So this appeared on Facebook, and because it's kind of a public Facebook, Heroscapers Facebook, this is why I decided to screenshot it. So hopefully Matt doesn't mind. Me taking pics of this, but I don't think he will. This was last week, and this gentleman Matt posted this, and it hurt me. It hurt me so much when I saw this. I'm just like,
I did see it. Yeah, I remember.
You know, I'm sure everybody on the thought, it's like, I feel like we got to do something, you know, about this because it was just terrible. But it says, I feel sick to my stomach. Someone stole my Heroscape order. Does anyone have these for sale? I'm out $447 and would love to get the best deal. And it just shows, for those of you who are listening on Spotify, it shows basically like this is some type of mailbox, I think, or it's
yeah, that's in the post office.
Yeah,
that's a PO box.
Yeah, PO box, a PO box that certainly got broken into, and then shows a list of all the things he bought from All Things Heroscape from it, and it's over $400 worth of stuff, and it's.
I just don't understand.
It's not easy to to get this. So
yeah,
that was.
Nah,
tough.
Heroscape's already hard to find. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will never understand how someone can generally steal.
Yeah.
But then pick up that box, shake it a little bit, and go, "There's got to be something valuable here." Not that it's not valuable. They don't think they realize what the value is of the product
Right.
that was in there. They were thinking probably something completely different other than the plastic that is also still worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't get it. So
Be a good person.
We saw this. This was a horrible situation.
And
So he ordered this from
All Things Heroscape.
All Things Heroscape.
All Things Heroscape, yes. And I'm trying to switch the screenshot, and I don't know why it's not switching over. So here, hold on a second. Give me a moment.
There is usually a button on the side, Ryan.
Yeah.
You just keep your mouse in the middle of the screen on the far left or right.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's
It's probably on the left-hand side. There's an arrow. There's an arrow.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There it is.
Yes.
There it is. All right.
I see that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe.
Work in IT, Joe.
This is why he's second in command. All right. So now, fortunately, there is, and the cool thing is, even before what we're going to talk about in a second happens, there were people commenting saying, offering ways that could help or get them to purchase something at a cheaper price or something. There were people already, outreaching. But before any of that could really happen, Matt posted something else. And I hear kids. This comes from an email sent from someone named Christopher, apparently from All Things Heroscape. And it says, and the only reason why I'm posting this is because Matt posted this on Facebook, so it's all public.
It is public. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it says, "Hey Matt, just a really unfortunate circumstance, and I understand how tough that can be." So obviously, Christopher saw what was there on Facebook that happened. Says, "I have had a couple of packages disappear from my own front porch myself, so I understand how painful that can be. Under the circumstances, and with you as a loyal customer over time, I'm going to go ahead and refill and reship your order for you at no charge. I'll send you tracking as soon as I have it. I appreciate it if you don't mind putting in a good word for me whenever you have a chance." Exactly. "I always fight to take excellent care of each of my customers, earn their loyalty, and not take anyone's businesses for granted. I should be able to have reshipment on its way tomorrow. I'll send you tracking as soon as I have it. Let me know if I should like any alternate delivery arrangements. All the best, Chris." And so, and wait, let me get to this last one. And then Matt says, "Updated from the man himself, I feel so relieved and can't believe this is actually happening. All Things Heroscape, I'm forever indebted to you." And All Things Heroscape, not only is this man indebted to you, I would say that this is one of the most classiest things that I have seen from someone that's selling Heroscape stuff. It was something they didn't have to do because it's a lot of product. It's the price of a lot of product stuff.
Yeah, that's
right.
huge.
And so I felt like the need to where it's like, okay, not only is Matt, giving him a shout out, well, guess what? This podcast is giving All Things Heroscape a shout out too. And recommendation, if you want to purchase from All Things Heroscape, I think they earned that just from that alone. So
I will say, if I could interject, Jack,
go ahead.
That I don't get the necessarily hatred All Things Heroscape gets. Right. Their prices are high, but their service is quality. So I've ordered. I needed a pair of goblins. Naturally, their prices were cheaper than eBay prices, and it's very nicely packaged. It's all put together. It's not like a scam. It's just he's making a profit off the pieces. Right. I do see the trickle down effect, how it affects eBay and the aftermarket side of things, but in terms of it's not like he's a big scammer who just takes your money and doesn't send you product. He's a legitimate business who's making money, and he has a very organized and put together interface for it. So but it's also tough when things are a little higher than we want to pay for it.
It's mainly just because most of us trying to complete the collections are probably, at least in my perspective, I'm broke. So it's like I have nothing against All Things Heroscape in any personal level. It's not like, oh, he looked at me wrong or I messaged him and he dissed me. It's not for me, it's not like a sense of animosity. It's just realizing I will not be able to afford those prices, and therefore I'm kind of just I understanding others who are like, oh, why is it so much? But if it is in the sense of both taking care of shipping, handling, maintenance, whatever, if that's meant for the business, was the overhead costs, all that stuff. I know a little bit how that works. So I can understand if this is how he has to run the business, then that's what we got to do. But it is also really impressive that him alone has managed to like fluctuate the market follows his prices.
Yeah.
And you like, I'm just from a business perspective, if you had control of the price of anything, like, I mean, that's power. And like, yeah, all things Heroscape controls the price of Heroscape right now on the internet. Everyone is following his prices, and that's how we get where we're looking at right now. And it's just, you gotta admit, it's a little impressive.
Yeah. But you have to admit though, like,
yeah, I don't think there's an animosity thing. It's just everyone realizes, man, that's so expensive, I can't afford it. And it's that
but at some point though, every single one of us has ordered from them. Like,
actually,
I'm working towards that.
I'll say this:
eventually.
I never have.
Really?
But, no.
And it's not because I don't want to. It's just I can't. Yeah,
but I have used the website. The website has a really good search engine.
Yeah,
and so to look up a Heroscape miniature, how it looks like in a hurry, I do use the website. So I do appreciate that. But
his SEO is second best to the Heroscape Wikipedia. So
and
he's
so,
right behind us right
Jeremy.
Even though I haven't purchased,
he don't get lore on his website.
I haven't purchased, but you know what? This might just give me a reason to.
It's honestly a really good move.
Consider it sometime.
I think the owner of All Things Heroscape has been trying to create a better interaction with the community. I've noticed they've been doing prize support for tournaments and just try to, I think, reach out. I think they have a bad rap, and I don't think it's fully deserved. If you're,
I want to say, if I'm a betting man, I want to say the only reason why All Things Heroscape has a bad reputation is because it's just no one ever talked to him.
Yeah.
If you think about it, it's like when you go on a website that has no name, no face, right? Because you're not really talking to the person behind it, and you see all these really hefty prices on things that you really want. The first emotion you're going to have is why, and then probably that resentment or whatever. And I think that just kind of spread, right? But no one really questioned. No one really got to know the guy behind the website. And now, like for me, I'm going to go out and say my first impression because I was reading comments, and so people were always complaining about the prices. So that was my first impression of All Things Heroscape, was comments from the forums and stuff. Why is it so expensive? All that stuff, and that's all I had. He changed my opinion when he offered those discounts to help support the crowdfund. You remember when he was like, "Hey, if you show proof you supported crowdfund, I'll give you 25% off my entire store." That was like, oh my gosh, okay, wait, maybe he's better than we thought, But it's just it's in the sense of like, not a personal thing. It's that weird, the wildfire opinions, people kind of just jumping into the boat because everyone else is on the boat. No one wants to leave the boat. That's, I think, what it was. But now he's out there, he's in the community, he's talking to people, and he's doing all these cool things. And I think a lot more people are starting to realize, you know what? Actually, let's go ahead and give him that little extra dollar because he's actually helping us out in return. Yeah. So, and the fact that he's got the stuff, I mean, how hard it is to get it in the first place. So it's like he's
just
a nice,
not even
ethos.
Afraid to correct a mistake that wasn't even his.
To
go the extra mile.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think he's trying to figure out the community. Trying to interact because he probably has like a whole garage full of suppliers. But there's some kind of there's a businessman behind this, which I think is very interesting. I'm actually curious to see what their moves are going to be kind of going forward with AOA coming out. Are they going to be doing that as a secondary seller? Are they going to be looking for like painted figures to sell? Like, I don't even know what the plan is.
So I don't know if anyone else dug into the Gamma Trade stuff when they were up in Louisville, Kentucky, when Renegade was doing that presentation. But they had a bunch of documents, and it was like all the retail information and stuff like that. Honestly, if All Things Heroscape wanted to, I'm pretty sure they could get in a retail deal with Renegade and ship directly for them.
That would be cool.
That would, so just kind of like help boost their sales and stuff. Or I'm just throwing out ideas, since All Things Heroscape has so much stuff. What if you paired the classic stuff that bonded with the AOA stuff? So you're like, hey, if you buy AOA through me, we'll drop an extra pack of knights or something to work with your Frostborn paladins.
That'd be cool.
That would, and just kind of get the classic to spread out there with the AOA stuff. We'll see. I don't know. That was just, you can have that for free. All Things Heroscape. That's my. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, definitely. Link in the description below for everybody and everything we talk about tonight, especially All Things Heroscape. So yeah, appreciate that. And I just wanted to give that shout out to them because I think it was well earned, well deserved.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. And let's see. I just wanted to shout out real quick to people in the chat because I know there's some talking going on here. Justin was saying here, I need an intervention for my plastic edition. Completed the pledge manager for Source because I got a bonus from work. Recently ended up spending $600+.
I'm not the person to help with this intervention.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I have my own problems.
Yeah, I think we all need an intervention in that type of thing. So yeah, you're just
man,
it's a support group now. You know, it's like alcoholic. It's Plastics Anonymous. There you go. It's Plastics.
I tried. Okay, so I'm not. I was trying to explain to my girlfriend today actually certain necessities regarding the Heroscape collection because this stuff's not cheap, right? Like, you know, especially if you're trying to go for some really premium stuff or some really like rarer characters. And so I'm trying to explain to her like the competitive value of these characters and yeah, it looks expensive from the surface, but there's a reason why the price is so high. And she's just like, look, I love you, but I really think this is not worth it. And I'm like, I trying to explain to you what it means. But yeah, it's just it only works for us. We're the only ones that understand why these prices are the way they are. It's just, but it's like, because we all, in various methods, have had access to this game for a really long time. So it's like, we're aware of it. But like, I feel like it'll be more understood the more the game comes out there, more people start hearing about Heroscape, and then we start showing them, you know, yeah, this character's been out since 2004, you know, things like that. And then they'll be like, oh, that's why it's so, and it's like, yeah, that's why, like, so who knows. But yeah, it is a fun topic of discussion because I definitely look like I need help when I try to talk about it.
I've been rearranging my my work area. That's why it's all dark behind me now as it's getting all set up. But my wife was just like, you have so much plastic. And I was like, plastics forever, you know. This is my equity right here. Those Templar nights, that'll keep the family going when I'm gone.
Right.
Too funny. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Hexala there in the chat. Welcome to the chat. And we'll be actually, you left a comment, so we'll actually be talking about that in a minute. But glad you could join us in the chat there. Glad for the YouTube channel that you guys are running that we were able to shout you out last time. Let's jump to the next shout out here, and this is a YouTube shout out. And Joe, you know more about this channel than I do. Why don't you take it away and talk about these guys?
Yeah, so Board Heroes. Board Heroes actually reached out to me. I had made a YouTube short talking about glyphs and how I want glyphs, 3D printed glyphs. No one's printing 3D printed glyphs. Why is that, by the way? Why is no one 3D printing glyphs? It's weird that we're 3D printing literally everything else but glyphs. I think it's one of the most important things to the game, and no one's 3D printing them. Anyway, they reached out to me, and they were like, hey, I'd like to make some glyphs, you know, for you. Like, let's make glyphs.
Nice.
And so I was been in contact with them. I found out that they had a YouTube channel. They have an Etsy store. This guy actually works with woodwork. He's got
Etsy store is
he makes these like gaming tables and dice boxes and dice towers. Real professional stuff, high end stuff too, which is incredible. But on the YouTube channel side, he recently just started. And he's doing some paint jobs.
Yeah.
Of some Heroscape units. So he's got some YouTube shorts.
See the railing there.
I think he just posted one the other day talking about painting an ice troll. He did one
right there. Yeah, ice
Raylan.
Speed paint. Yep. Yeah,
I think he did one of the Vidar robots. What are they? The Blastrons.
Yep, right there. Yeah.
So
these are in the YouTube Shorts tab.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts.
Yep.
So hopefully he'll do a full, Heroscape video of some sort. But everything he seems to do is, of course, tabletop wargaming. So go check out this newcomer to the scene. Really, go support them. And I look forward to seeing what kind of if they can recreate glyphs.
Yeah.
Because I think this community desperately, because like. My thing is, like, there's people out there looking for the original stuff, and that could still be hard to find. So why it's not difficult for us to print out stickers to slap on the 3D prints, so you can
Right.
fill out your original collections, and then make custom stuff. With Heroscape Adventure, look at this. What's on there? Look at that. What is he doing? What's that guy doing? Pull Josiah up. What's he doing?
What's going on?
What's that?
Oh, that's a glyph.
Pull Josiah up on the big screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, press the button, Ryan. Glyphs.
Yeah, look at that. He's working on them.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody,
That's
call
awesome.
to action. Get 3D printed glyphs onto your stores, or like start making them. I think they'll be really great for like people like myself that want to fill out the collection of original glyphs, but also make custom ones. With Heroscape Adventure, like I want to make custom glyphs. For like either treasure glyphs, original power glyphs, like maybe do like you collect like journal note entries of some sort, and like that's how I develop a story, like different stuff like that.
All right, write one down. Actually, I have an idea. The glyph of bounce, meaning that like instead of flying, a character can like develops like elastic body to where they can bounce, for like say
Nice.
4 spaces up to where they can ignore elevations. It's just but it's the bounce just at a certain height. I don't think they have anything like that in the glyphs.
I was gonna suggest, what if there was an obstacle course of some sort where you had to drop the glyph at the end of a cliff, climb up the mountain, jump down on the cliff, and then bounce up to get to the other side. Or do the portal thing. I'd probably make portals at this point, since I'm a huge portal fan. I'd make portals.
And you can 3D print portals now, because we've seen that in the end of episode 10, season
That is
3.
Yes, those particular portals. But you know what portals I'm talking about.
Oh, of course, yes. Yes, the ones that you just make out of thin air, which I don't know how that works.
If you're a
for
portal
Heroscape.
guy, that's not what I would put. I would make the treasure glyph a portal gun.
Anyway, that is Board Heroes, and YouTube channel description below, and on their YouTube channel has their Etsy store and everything. Check out the Etsy store. It's really cool. And then before we get to our last shout out, here I just want to catch up with the chat because we got people chatting. Let's see here. Okay, Justin saying, I'm thinking all things Heroscape will piece out the AOA sets for veteran players who only want some of the units, quite possibly. And I think other sellers might do that as well. Like Joey Carmichael. We've never shouted out. I think we've mentioned Joey Carmichael, but I know one time we got to give him a definite shout out because I purchased from him before.
Yeah.
Joey Carmichael is the goat.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely, yes. So if we have not shouted him out, we definitely should and will sometime in the future. And so here, Justin's all saying, I put the source tiles to use planning a 6+ player game with friends at the end of August, so we'll need at least 3 maps. Yeah, he's planning for the future. And then Hexalis...
Excellent.
Excellent. Hexalis saying, in the start of April, we started running learn play a Heroscape at game shops. We had to drop quite a bit of money to be able to support... what is that? 8 500-point unique armies.
500-point unique armies.
Well, yeah, because they know how to play it. They're
a deal.
playing it nice in their channel.
That's a serious thing. I realized because when I did the convention stuff for Heroscape, I had to put down a good sizable amount of my own income to be able to. Because you're just like you're not building an army for just yourself.
I think we have a Jason joining us. We have a Jason joining us. So
Jason. Hey, look at that guy.
Sorry for the late entry here.
That's okay.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm glad you're here.
All our panel is here. So now I can tell that story after on the post show. For those of you who want to know, check out the Patreon and become a Patreon supporter. But anyway, Hexala is saying we're super thankful for the shout out last week. And we're kind of shouting you out this week too. I really like what you guys are doing. And so, and one question, Hexala. So does that mean you're just learning how to play Heroscape? Did you just discover Heroscape and now you're playing it and you just started a YouTube channel? Because that's kind of cool. If that's the case, it's like, oh, we found Heroscape. We love it. Now let's start a YouTube channel on it. That actually is kind of cool backstory for that. All right, now last shout out, and I'll let Jeremy take the helm with this because this is kind of your baby almost. So let me bring this here.
I gotcha.
A link description below for this, but this is for Extra Life. This is a charity.
Yeah.
Go ahead and explain, Jeremy.
Alrighty, so for those that may have heard the name before, if you haven't, this organization, Extra Life, works with Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and essentially the idea is that they recruit gamers, video gamers, tabletop gamers, all sorts of nerds, anybody really, who want to help support and raise money for local children's hospitals. So essentially what I'm doing and what thousands of gamers are doing across the nation is while we play games, while we host events, while we do all our usual fun games and stuff like that, we mention Extra Life, we ask for donations to be sent to the local children's hospital. So I'm raising money right now for my local children's hospital in my local town. And the way I'm doing that is by playing Heroscape. So essentially it started off on the 13th of April. I went to the local game store with my Extra Life stuff, and I explained what we were doing, and I taught him the basic game rules, and we were able to play a basic game and had a really good time. It was awesome. I was super excited to be able to teach rules, and we had some people stop by, and they were just like looking around. They're like, "Oh, hey, what's that?" And I explained, "Hey, this is Heroscape. You want to check it out? Come by later." So really good time. And so the past couple streams that I've done on Twitch, where I've just focused on talking about I was actually setting up some armies and stuff for events that I'll be running later at the game store. Started this because they're actually incentivizing all the tabletop gamers for this month. They're giving out this 20-sided dice. It's like a prismatic 20-sided dice. They'll give to you if you raise $100 before this month ends. And I was like, oh man, I want that dice because it just, it fits that's 20-sided, right? It's a Heroscape thing. So you're like, oh, I need it. And but other than just the shiny stuff, of course, right? It's just I think it is an awesome experience that this organization, I've been participating since 2015 because I was introduced to it while I was in college. And yeah, they've been going since. Every year they just get a bunch of gamers together and they're like, hey, raise money for your local hospital. And if you hit certain milestones, we'll give you nice shiny things. I earned this shirt in 2020. He's
all about the shiny things,
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, that's like, and I'm like, what a nice incentive.
Any nerd,
because, right? The money is going to help kids.
Yes.
Right. It goes to help their operations. I mean, and these are kids who it's their parents aren't able to make costs, right, for hospital costs and things like that. We know healthcare is really expensive, right? So when these kids need operations and they're not able to afford it, or their parents aren't able to afford it, right, Extra Life steps in and then gives them, it's like a program that helps them afford these treatments, whatever it is, cancer related, bone related, all kinds of stuff like that. They help kids all the time. And so yeah, I'm participating for the 5th year in a row, which is super great. I'm just really grateful to know that this thing is a thing, that I can be a nerd and help, give good back to the world. And so what I'm offering right now for anyone that wants to help contribute to my effort to get this 20-sided die for the next 2 days, if you do a donation of $6 to the fund, I'm actually working on trying to get back into my Heroscape writing. Fun fact. Thanks to our last guest in the last podcast, I got a little inspired. I was like, you know what? I should try to poke back at that.
For sure.
That was the thing I used to do 10 years ago. I was really into Heroscape writing. And I'm like, I kind of miss it. So in the spirit of a new Heroscape set coming out and wanting to get back into the narrative, if you donate $6 in the next 2 days to the Extra Life campaign that I'm running, I will write you into this story as a Heroscape character. So, and it'll be of your choice. We'll have a quick discussion, kind of go over what lore you want to look at, what planet you want to come from. We can get super creative if you want to. We can stick to the original. I can work with anything. But I need $6 from you to go to these kids, and then we'll talk. But yeah, that's what I'll be running tomorrow. I'm probably going to be trying to go live most of the day to see if we can earn the rest of the money for the campaign. But yeah, it's just a really cool thing to be able to participate, do nerd stuff. And like I said, this shirt, they send you a shirt if you raise $200. And I didn't even think, I don't usually set that kind of goal because I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so high up, right? It's super expensive. Whoa, $200. I was on Twitch 2 years ago.
I remember
teaching people how to play Heroscape. Yeah, it was just I was like, hey guys, this is how you play Heroscape. And someone jumped in the chat, saw what I was doing it, for. They were like, "Oh, you're doing this for Extra Life?" And they're like, and I was like, "Yeah." Donated $200 while I'm trying to explain the rules of Heroscape. I choke. I was, I was just
Justin, link in description below is where you can donate, Justin.
Yeah, and it's just a really cool thing. Yeah. I have had so much fun meeting people behind it. I've met them at Gen Con. Shoot, actually, give me a second. It's one of those things. It's like I should have had this. I gotcha. So when I went to Gen Con,
right, Joe Crazy, just $6 extra, really? It's not much.
Yeah, when I went to Gen Con, they had a booth there, right? And I explained it. It's like, yeah, I've always participated and I had the chance. And they're like, okay, what's your name? And I gave them the name, and they gave me a ribbon, right? It's a 4th-year ribbon. So you apparently there's a tradition at Gen Con. I might sound like this like newbie, because obviously other Gen Con goers probably already know this, right? But apparently there's a tradition at Gen Con where you get ribbons and they just stack that thing, right? And it just like lays out. God. Yeah. And I this is my first ribbon. I'm so excited, right? There's a guy walk past, he had like 20. And I'm sitting there like,
oh my God.
Yeah, no, they gather ribbons from these booths and they just stack them on each other and they walk around with it. And it's
shiny things, you know?
Nerds and shiny things. But my first one was Extra Life, and I was really proud to be able to just go up to this booth and be like, yeah, I raise money for these hospitals, and I do it with Heroscape, right? So it's like, and it's anything, right? They got D&D stuff, they got other tabletop games, they got during November it's a video game stuff, so they'll do like 24-hour tournaments and all sorts of stuff to raise money for kids, and it's good stuff, really good feelings, and I love being able to help them out. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple weeks. So
yeah,
past 2 weeks, there you go.
Yeah, and 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 see, look, it already bumped up a little bit, so you already got some.
Hey, yo, thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's
great.
I think it was probably Justin that did that. Thank you so much.
No, I gotcha. Yeah, and definitely.
So Justin,
feel free to contact me.
Yeah,
so.
and Jeremy, I mean, you probably expect something from me probably sometime, because I want my name in there. I don't know what name I have. I have a variety of names.
Well, I could be a character called Josiah.
It works at the conventions. I mean,
it's gonna be you're gonna be inundated with messages from people like, okay, what's my name gonna be? You know,
right? No, but here's the thing. Just to remind everybody, you'll be surprised just how much Heroscape is named after real people. Like so much Heroscape concepts, lore, narrative, whatever is just somebody's IRL name.
We're actually gonna get to that in a minute too in the comments.
So yeah. You we can do this. It's really easy to get you into this game. Like, trust me.
Sure. All right. Well, and it sounds like a great cause. And Jeremy, I mean, for someone I know, when I was diagnosed with Crohn's at 11 years old, turning 12, I was in a children's hospital, and so I know I have an idea of what children and their families go through in that situation. So yeah, very commendable. For you to join up with this and support this type of thing. So totally get it. Yeah. So thank you for that. And thank you to Extra Life for doing that. And thank you for anybody who wants to donate for that. And yeah, link in the description below and check it out. Justin said not yet, but I will. So someone else did it. Okay. Well, whoever did, thank you.
Yeah, you're good. I appreciate it.
And yeah, appreciate any support anybody can give, even if it's a couple bucks. It goes a long way to support people who probably, you know, who want to see their children get better, get well, grow up, and might not have, you know, the financial support that they need. So yes, appreciate anything.
Yeah, their motto is kids can't wait. Yeah. So it's just, you're really just here to help secure future for some kids who, you know, maybe they want to grow up and become Heroscapers someday. You know, give them a chance to do that by being able to help out. So.
Exactly. And if you want listen to this on Spotify too, there'll be a link in the description below or a link in the description of the Spotify thing, or should be, or if not, just go to YouTube and there'll be a link for that as well, if you want to check that out as well. So all right, so that is that for shout outs. Thank you, Jeremy. And now let's get into some YouTube comments from the last stream real quick. I don't think we'll get in long discussions about these, but you know, you never know.
I'll keep myself. I'll contain myself. I promise.
Because we do gotta get a Thormun's journal, but just here, hold on.
It's a good. See, this is the thing, though. This is a good entry. So I'm like I gotta. I'll keep it.
It's good.
I'll contain it.
It's good to chat. It's good. I know I gotta catch up with the.
Oh, we're reading 27.
The live chats as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. We're
Oh,
gonna
there's
do
so
both.
much. Oh man, there's so
But,
much. Okay.
but wait, there's more. Okay, and
But
so
there's
before we
more.
do comments real quick, here I just want to catch up with these live comments. There, Justin's saying, life's been so busy. I have two episodes behind on the backstage. Well, that's fine. They're still there, so not going anywhere, dude. I get it. It's been a crazy few weeks for myself as well. Hexala says we played Heroscape at the end of its lifespan, 2010, 2015. Okay, so you're just getting back into it. Okay, that's cool. They also say we always wanted our own collection, as what we played with then was our parents' collection. Gotcha. Fate would have it that we found a decent collection in a store for a steeply discounted price. Well, I love those stories too, where people just like thought, I found this and it was like this price instead of this price. Yeah, that's nice. All right. So anyway, as fate would have it, for the YouTube comments from last time, we start with Exala. Saying, thanks for the shout out. Didn't expect this much love from the community so quickly. Adam. Adam, you are very welcome. I try to do my best to keep an eye out for anybody who's like starting a YouTube channel or who's doing something, Heroscape related. It's our honor. We love to get as much love and support to everyone as much as we can, because this seems like it might be a growing thing in the future.
I'll be reaching out to you all all pretty soon.
Certainly want
Yeah.
to encourage you all to do what you can and to do your best with it, and want it to grow. All right. Now, next comment comes from Jonangelo. I like that. I like that name. That's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. It says, wonderful episode. JJ's novel and its origin is cool to hear. Escape fans living on through the game and fan creations. Cool to learn Admiral is named after Jim. Jim visited me and Gorillinator in 2006-ish. They both passed on, but they are remembered through Scape. Jim created a hardbound collection of early Codex issues. Interesting. Which Scaper is named as a planet? Rev Dryer, great episode.
It's
Thanks.
the Rev, yeah.
Okay, I knew you'd answer that, Jeremy. Yeah, go ahead.
Because Rev Dyer. For those that may not know Rev Dyer, I mean that name is like synonymous with Heroscape or Heroscapers, the forums specifically. Rev was one of the first people to introduce himself to you. Like when you first joined, right? I mean, obviously, when you join a community, it's always really sketchy, scary. You don't know stuff. But Rev was the one that introduced himself to you. Was usually someone that would comment on a lot of forums, help people out, and was super, like, almost. What's the word? What's a good word for it? Just like, very necessary. I don't.
Integral.
Integral into the C3V process, because he helped organize the books. He was the one that got them all indexed, and I mean, we're talking about all the Heroscape characters, all that data. Like he did all of that, right? And he loved the game. I mean, it was part of who he was, and he passed on during the pandemic, and it was just a really sad time for everybody, because I mean, he was such a big name, and they honored him by making the newest planet in C3V after his name. So I think it's Dyer 3, or the station that they have, that space station concept they're working with, that's named after him.
Okay.
Which, I mean, it's just a beautiful idea to have this game coming back, and also bringing memories of the legacies that has paved along the way. So yeah, I love it. I love the concept so much. Being able to honor people like that.
It's good to give those nods. Thank you so much, John Jello, for definitely for the comment. And actually, one thing I want to say, what's early Codex issues? Does anybody know what that
magazines they released, right?
Magazines. Yeah, there was a magazine series,
hardbound collection,
classic. Yeah, well, so because they were only posted digitally, like they were posted on the forums. That means he would have printed those and then bound them.
Interesting.
And so he had a copy, and I remember those being giveaways at one point. They were giving away hardbound copies of the Heroscape Codex, and I guess he was one of those that was behind getting those together. So that's pretty cool. Because that's classic Heroscape media. 2006, 2007. I know. I want to say they stopped before the D&D stuff happened, because obviously,
Mm-hmm.
it's just when it's a fan effort, it runs on those wheels until it can't, kind of thing.
Sure.
So
I miss the codexes. I used to read. They had so much
they were
good
so good.
map
Love
building,
those,
character designer interviews. It was
Interviews.
really great content. You probably could still dig up the old codexes on
guy.
Escapers.
Mm-hmm.
They had an artist that used to do custom design. Like, he used to do custom art of the characters, and they would use that as like the covers of each magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that blew my mind. There's just the level of creative quality that came out of those. Good series. And what Roguescaper said, I'm pretty sure you can go on the forums and still download them. They're all archived on there, so
for sure. Well, anyway, that's really cool to know.
Stuff.
Thank you, John Jello, for the comment. And then number one Team Ski, who did comment last time and is commenting again, says, thanks for the episode. I loved Heroscape back in the day, so much so that Craig personally sent me a care package of a master set and Maladin's Prophecy while I was deployed in the Middle East in 2005. Well, thank you, one Team Ski, for your service.
Man, these stories are so cool.
I still have all my gear, as it will be buried with me when I pass on to Valhalla. Well, bless you. Bless your heart.
Wow. Yeah.
Here's hoping for continued success for the game system. Absolutely. Yep. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Team Ski, for the comment. Keep on commenting. Keep on letting us know that you're here. And again, thank you for the service rendered. And then Garanex, I don't know who this person is, but I'll read his comment anyway. It says, the Arch Kyrie weapons are very similar to Shard Blades from the Stormlight Archive. It was cool having JJ on. Did he mention if he started attending any events or thinking about EscapeCon at all? Yeah, he did, and I answer this, but yeah, he did mention that he didn't go to any events yet, but I think that's going to change in the future. So hopefully we'll see JJ at an event sometime soon. Hopefully EscapeCon sometime in the future as well. But yeah, Arch Kyrie weapons described in the Wellspring War. That was so cool. That was one of the biggest, like the coolest things described in that book was very cool. And it was like, I wish there could be something done with either mainstream Heroscape or custom wise with Valkyrie generals like that, because those weapons were awesome. All right. So, and again, thank you, Garanex, even though I don't know who you are, wink, wink. Thank you again for the comment. And okay, so that is it for the YouTube comments. Let me bring this up here. Let's get this down here, and then we are going to get into the journals. The journals, and it's not like we haven't been doing this for an hour or so. No rush.
Now we were covering the news and the reviews.
Yeah, no, but I remember from reading Thormun's journal last time, it was kind of ended on a cliffhanger. So now we're going to see what happens after that. And here, I just want to see. Okay, we're all good in the chat there. And so let me start bringing this up.
Yeah, and I guess for a summary, if you want a quick summary.
Yeah, go ahead if you want to start.
So right now what we're reviewing are what Sergeant Drake Alexander is essentially penning down is the events of the Battle of Steshtavan, which is a huge event in Heroscape history where, essentially the first fruits of the Alliance take place. Right, so this is after Jandar and Olar have met and already made contact, so the two of them are now teamed up to fight. And so they are all planning. They basically, the first battle almost looked like it was lost because they did a bottleneck technique, right? They pulled them in, made them chase them all the way into a valley, and then surrounded them on all sides with the Templars, the Vipers, and everything. And it was just, Uthgar lost that particular fight. And this is, from what we understand in the story, this is the first time the good guys are actually winning, essentially. This is the first time they've got any sort of, like, forward motion in terms of fighting the bad guys. And so the second part that we're about to read is a sneak attack attempt, right? So while everyone was fighting each other in the valley, Drake and a group of people decide to break into Uthgar's camp, and they're trying to see if they can assassinate the big guy himself. So,
all right,
that's where we're at.
And so, yeah, that's right. So journal entry number 26. So Let me see here. Now I'm going to give my voice a little bit of a break. Let me see how many paragraphs do we have here. Okay, so since Jason came in late, wink wink, I'm gonna have him start reading. We're gonna have him read the first three paragraphs there. That just finishes off that page in journal entry 26. So if you're up for it, Jason, go ahead.
All right. From the pen of Sergeant Drake Alexander. Utgar's soldiers swarm about the camp. Chaos breaks out, but our troops are keeping their wits about them and dealing with the situation. Sullivan and I dive deeper in the disorganized scattering of blackened tents. The air here is so thick with foul stench that I can taste it. The last bit of sun ducks down under the horizon and the stars begin sparkling to life. We've all but cleared out the immediate threats, but still no one has spotted any sign of Utgar's presence here, nor the presence of any of his leaders. A blood-curdling scream breaks through the dusky silence. Now again, from another direction comes a piercing scream. I look over to meet Sullivan's eyes. In unspoken agreement, we both head in the direction of the last scream. Rounding a tent, we set eyes upon one of the MacDurks. The sight turns my stomach. He lies on the ground, twisted up in an unnatural position, his face frozen in complete terror, his entire body a ghostly white as if drained of all blood. Another scream rings out from behind. I twist on my heels in time to see another of our soldiers fall. As a flash of black and red, it jumps away over a tent and out of sight. I sprint in the direction the blur headed. Sullivan followed closely behind. Frantically, I dart out from behind one tent after another, finding nothing.
All right. Creepy. All right. Jeremy, do you think you can finish the rest of the entry for 26?
Where are my lungs burn?
Yes. You start.
All right. My lungs burn for oxygen. I stop to catch my breath, pulling air in haggard grasps. Hands on my knees. Son of a! I lost Sullivan. I turn looking for my partner, but what I find standing behind me makes my heart stop. Overwhelming fear seeks to overtake me as a tall figure wrapped in a cape stalks forward slowly. Why am I not reacting? I should be drawing my blade. I can't move. I grind down on my teeth, forcing my mouth to close and my brow to furrow in rage. I swallow down the fear and draw my blade just as the monster reaches a bony hand out for my throat. Moving like lightning, the dark-haired man's cape is all my sword catches, as he leaps backwards with inhuman speed and strength. Now his full form is revealed. He wears armor of red and black. Hanging on his sides are two large, nasty-looking blades. His face is a pale white, like that of his victims. A slow smile crosses his visage, revealing a set of fanged teeth. With a low and soothing voice, he speaks. We meet at last, Sergeant Drake Alexander.
Nice, nice.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Lord Siberian Eisenwine, and I've come... I don't give a rip who you are! I fire at him with my grappling gun. He turns and leans to one side, narrowly avoiding my projectile. Well, away with the formalities then. Cyprian ducks forward, and with a jump and a twist, he dives at me faster than I can react. Midair, and in a blink of an eye, he draws a sword in each hand, spins to one side, and strikes. Both blades slide along my right arm at the shoulder. The arm goes numb. I drop my sword. His face is inches from mine. His black holes for eyes swallow my soul. I look into my own death. My head swims, my will gives way. Looking up, I see that the moon is full. Silhouetted against the moonlight is the form of an angel come to take me away. All goes black. Yeah, I love the scene. It's so cool. Yeah, I just had to put some oomph into that.
Horror. Yeah. The horror.
You want to continue?
Okay. Joe, if you want to continue, go ahead.
I'll wrap it up.
All right.
When I wake, my senses are overloaded with bright light and extreme pain. I reach for my wounded shoulder, but a soft hand holds onto mine. She leans her head forward and blocks out the sun. My eyes adjust to see her face. Raylan, it was you. You were my angel. Your what? Never mind. How is it you took on the pale-skinned fellow? I wasn't alone. He flew off when he spotted us, faster than the wind. Faster than the wind that one was. But I sent with a spear wound as a parting gift. Ha! The laughter brings a new swell of pain. My arm. Is it going to be all right? Our new friend Zetacron here has an answer for you. When he's done patching you up, we need to make haste to Anund on orders of Jandar. Great trouble is stirring here. Jandar's visions turn toward the jungles of the south.
All right. And so that is 26 now. Now, who is that bad guy we're talking about? And Jeremy, I gotta say, Hexala, and I'm gonna repeat this. Jeremy, I know you weren't auditioning, but for those who don't know, Cyprian Essenwine is probably gonna be one of the main villains for the next few seasons of Tales of Valley Aftermath Chronicles, and yeah, that was a pretty good audition there, Jeremy. I mean, I actually was looking at other guys, to take that role, but dang, that wasn't.
Yeah, he was looking at Brad Pitt. I was saying the cast list. It was nuts.
Wow. No,
wasn't too shabby.
I have a weird history when it comes to just just vampire culture in general.
Transylvania.
I watched all the movies. Van Helsing is one of my favorite movies of all time. I will watch. I can quote every watch it in word by word kind of thing. I've played all the Castlevania games. I just have this thing with vampires. They're just super cool. So when I'm like, oh, he speaks. Are you doing this?
Doing it, yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
you did it.
I had to do some sort of vampire accent. So, but yeah.
Now go ahead, Josiah. Go ahead.
Oh, I just love how Zetacron, the robot with no hands, is capable of inventing grapple guns and being a medic. It's just the funniest thing to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, but yeah, because that's actually a really important thing. So
creates new tech,
in the process,
basically.
Yeah, in the process of what do you say? This is like one of those climax. It's just like turn of the story events in terms of Heroscape, because they took this a whole nother level, right? Not only is Cyprian Icewind an actual character you can play in the game, Sergeant Drake Gallagher got a second version, right? And in the second version, you see the robot arm, right? So yeah, this robot. Man, my camera's weird. There it goes. Yeah, the robot arm you see there, it's a little blurry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? That robot arm in the second edition.
Yep.
Right, this is second edition Drake. That robot arm is what they're talking about. So not only did they made it canonical. His design is canonical. The story, you're like, where did his robot arm come from? Now it's because he fought a vampire and almost lost. Yeah, he would have died. That's the thing. Drake was gonna die, and then Raylan saved him. So
his arm died, basically.
His arm got out of he lost function of his arm because it got numbed, and I think they're
then
trying
he went
to.
full Luke Skywalker and got.
Are they trying to say the chilling touch did that?
Chilling touch, yeah. They're saying chilling touch did that to his arm.
Interesting.
Cool. I always imagine Batman, the third one, where he has that suit that braces his legs just to keep on being Batman type of deal. I always think it's interesting that death is kind of permanent in Valhalla. Sometimes it seems like you die, you get summoned back, and it's just like an eternal war. But it does seem like you die, you're gone. Type of deal.
Some McDuck warriors did not get the right end of the stick there.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, I think, and they've always had various ways of dealing with what happens to someone on Valhalla when they get that. And I've seen different depictions of it, but for the most part, I think canonically, if you do die in Valhalla, you're done. That's your second chance is over.
Like Sven says at the end of season 10. If Valhalla we die, then where do we go? Or as Joe Crazy could probably quote that better than I could, because that's his character voice. But in Valhalla, if we all die, then where do we go?
Right.
Although I'd say the Wellspring War kind of answers that a little bit, even if it's a non-canon story. It kind of answers that pretty well. Anyway, but back to this. One question I wanted to ask when it came to this particular passage. Was this written before, like Zetacron and Cyprian Essenwine and even McDurk Wars before they were released?
I want to say it was
Mm-hmm.
because Zedicron didn't come out till 2007 or 8 was. Actually, hey, fun new little update I found out from Heroscape.org.
Mm-hmm.
They have the dates of everything that came out. Like, I don't know how Chris Perkins found all that info, but that was cool. I like that stuff.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Zedicron came out in
looking to play.
2008.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say that these journals are definitely released before 2008 because I do remember reading these a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of set. I want to say Cyprian was already out, but not Zedicron yet.
Mm.
But these are faded memories I have to go off of, so I'm like
Sure.
trying to go back and
Sure.
think.
But your best guess is fine.
Because all of this was on the main website. To put that, like, we had access to this. Like, we could just go to Heroscape.org and pop all of this up, and then the Heroscaper, what we're reading from, are the guides that we use. The PDFs are Heroscapers who copied and pasted that onto a PDF format, so it would be easier for other people who now that the website's gone, right? But or repurposed, because now you type in Heroscape.com, you go to the Renegade website, which that was a pretty cool thing. I thought that was a cool idea that they bought the old domain or whatever, they reconnected it to Renegade. That was cool. So, but all of this was on the website, so it was like, old good old information to kind of look forward to.
Mm-hmm. And Jason, what did you think when you were first reading the first 3 paragraphs? I mean, I think most people would think, even though it doesn't even say it in this whole segment, but once you get to a certain point, you think vampire. It's got to be a vampire. There's got to be a vampire
Right,
that is doing this. What do you think, Jason?
I would probably agree with you, but the sketch right there shows the vampire character. It's on the. I'm probably looking on a different website. I'm on the wiki, so.
No.
He's got a sketch of the vampire character right next to us that kind of ruins it. But
yeah, I mean, it is a sketch, but it's hard to tell it's a vampire, though. And you see Raylan in the background.
It's pretty obvious. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't see fangs there. It's
chat, please tell me, help me out here.
Or maybe it's just my eyesight.
Look like a vampire? Does that not already look like Cyprian? Like, come on now. What are we? Who are we joking?
On the website I'm on, it identifies it as Cyprian, so that's why I knew who it was.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. And then
I don't know.
Raylan is back there as well.
So
it's kind of cool. You got Raylan back there too, as well, chasing him. So. Yeah.
Yeah, Raylan. And so, as a reminder, Raylan is arriving at the scene after she was brought to the attention of the Wellspring visions, right? So, like, Jandar had visited Thormun, and they all got together, and they're like, hey, so guess what? We just realized this is a big deal. So Raylan is now traveling and arriving to the scene of the Battle of Stetchavon to be like, hey, Drake, we got to go. And so it's really funny because, I mean, this war is active. Like, I mean, they got thousands of people fighting right now, and Raylan shows up, saves him, right? I mean, like, talk about nick of time, and then goes, hey, we got to go. So it's like, imagine if you're just trying to do your job, and then you're like, you almost died, but now you got the person that saved you is taking you out. Like, yeah, right.
That is war.
That's how war works.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like it was the last podcast. It was "This is how babies are made." Now this podcast, it's "This is how war works." It just can't.
This is war never changes.
These are Joe's quotables.
Get him on a shirt.
Joe's quotables.
Love it.
Oh, anyway, anything else to say about this before we move on to the next one?
You just see the narrative. It definitely is ripe for multimedia storytelling. You definitely. I'm logging for the day where Renegade decides, you know what, we can make a limited animated web series again, or we can make, someone. I think there's a fun story to be had here, and Cyprian's just a scary dude.
I think we have a higher chance of them making an RPG out of this than a TV show.
That would
Probably.
be nice. Actually,
I mean, they tried the TV show. They had the webisodes. Those did go on air.
I'm even with that, Jeremy. I think we have a higher chance of Renegade putting their money towards doing an RPG so they can sell it to us.
They already have
over
SS20,
the fact that they can make actual merch for our game and make a television series, a YouTube series.
I get it. Well, YouTube series. What are you talking about? There already is a freaking YouTube series. And nobody pays
An
me.
animated
die.
one that isn't stop motion, so we do not step on the toes of other people that do much better work. How's that sound?
Now you just make me feel bad.
No.
See that big head
man.
you wanted me to have at the beginning of the,
Oh,
now
my
I'm just
lordy.
all deflated now. Now I need the intervention again.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Now I'm humbled. Anywho, no, it's good thoughts, guys. Though good thoughts. So that is looking at journal entry 26 of Thormun's journal. All right, now give me a second before we start journal entry 27. Just to check with the chat. Okay, Hexile is also saying we love
Go
vampires.
check our chat. I'm gonna get more water.
Yeah, we love vampires. Cyprian, Sonia,
Yeah, vampires.
lovers or Cymbalines, maybe both. Yeah, I know. I got to figure that out.
I think they
you know
are.
that, Jeremy.
Sonia is Cyprian's wife. They're
Okay, there you
basically
go.
like a family unit.
Yeah,
they
they
tried to do the whole. Yeah. Iskra is their daughter.
Iskra's their
and
daughter. Okay.
Marku is Cyprian's brother.
Okay, there you go.
But he is the weird uncle. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the weird uncle. Yeah.
No, so the whole reason why he looks as monstrous as he does is because he literally he was in the process of getting cursed when he got summoned to Valhalla. So he shows up to Valhalla looking like that, and he's just like, like why? And that's why
Frozen.
apparently that's the source of his eternal hatred is because he's ugly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Anytime you get betrayed, you didn't say he was beautiful enough. That's why you got betrayed.
That's gonna be some interesting writing for Tales of Valhalla in the future. I think.
I'm hoping that's one
I
thing
gotta talk to
Renegade
Jeremy more about this.
makes is a Marsu 2.0 where he's just a full on. He's breaking the curse. Maybe he's serving Revna, and he's just kind of out for blood.
Yo, and he's like, now he's against his brother because Revna, because she has something. I know she has some dark magic because her Kyrie is an undead. So it's like it's all the same sort of stuff.
I am so looking forward to your thoughts on Revna and once everything kind of drops.
Yeah, no, I freaked out. I freaked out when I found out her Kyrie was undead. I was like, okay, that's new. What'd you do, Revna? What'd you do?
Making deals. No, I think Marku would be very interesting in like Age of Annihilation to be a pirate. You know, just be separated from everybody.
A vampire?
A vampire.
That's a whole book series. Yeah.
There you go. And see here, Justin in the chat saying, I've always thought Heroscape would be a fantastic film franchise, especially in this day and age with connected universes. You could have different films set in different planets and have them meet in Valhalla. Yeah, well, I mean, what have I been doing the last 10 years is saying, yes, this is something that, live action would be very, very interesting for sure to see. But will it happen? I mean, there are like video game and war game IPs that are getting their film franchises, so it's not impossible.
Warhammer is getting a movie.
Exactly. And that's going to be insane when that comes out. If they stick to the source material of Warhammer, because Warhammer.
Well, so you know who's directing it, right?
Who's part of it is it's Superman.
Superman,
basically.
Henry Cavill.
Cavill loves. Loves
he does.
Warhammer, he
loves
that
guy is a nerd.
If I remember,
Very
he
buff
left The Witcher. He left The Witcher because they weren't sticking to the books.
Right.
Like he refused to film anymore because they wanted to break off the canon. So if he's directing the Warhammer film, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like
very.
It's going to be good. I'm.
You got something
I'm
to say, Jason? You're kind of like chomping at the
All I'm
bit.
gonna say, I won't go into the details of it here. There's plenty on the internet, but if you haven't missed the news, there's a bunch of crap story about Warhammer 40k at Amazon and the show and things
right now. Yeah.
So rumors about what Henry
Rumors.
Cavill may or may not do. I don't know where they come from, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
and Justin's saying except Warhammer and Warcraft are way bigger than Heroscape. That's why I'm saying. I mean, it's possible that Heroscape could get something, but it's unlikely that it's.
If you liked Warhammer, how about you check out Heroes? we piggyback off their success.
Yeah, exactly. But I would say, okay. Anyway, we could talk about this forever, but let's move on to the next journal.
Oh,
so we can.
Next journal is important.
Yes. Yes. So yeah. Okay. And this 20. Okay, it's 20. So I'll just see how much there is here. Okay. How about Josiah? If you want to get started, first 3 paragraphs.
I do request.
You can.
I do have to.
Oh, go ahead, Jeremy.
Request. Just it might be spoiling ahead, but Vidar does speak in this journal entry.
Okay, where is it
I do
at?
have to. It's in the second part of the paragraph. I'm gonna have to reprise my role, I think. But
when we get there, if you're not reading, just let me know, and then
I get you.
We'll do it. Okay. It's not.
I just thought it was funny. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Vidar again.
Let's see here. Yeah, I think Josiah, you can read the first 3 paragraphs, and I think you'll be fine with that.
All right. Inscribed by Thormun of Telerion, on this, the 11th day of Reneveg, the rusty outer gate squeals on its hinges, breaking through the ominous silence that surrounds this place. The gates are tall and thick, their designs are intricate and beautiful, but they no longer serve their purpose. The lock is broken. One of the gate doors hangs by a single hinge. With a push, the door squeals open. The only resistance it meets is the tall, yellowed grass and weeds. It must push its way through. In the fading light of dusk, I can still make out that the stonework is crumbling. Vines cling to everything. This is the once magnificent Montfrey Manor, home of the Valkyrie Vidar. As we trudge our way through the overgrown courtyard, I can't help but get the overwhelming suspicion that we're being watched. The whole place looks completely abandoned, just like all the towns and villages that came before. As we approach the door, it swings open, seemingly of its own accord. Standing there in the doorframe is a tall, dark-haired Kyrie. He holds into a lantern which spreads just enough light to illuminate his rough face. Lord Vidar awaits, croaks the lantern-wielding Kyrie. He acts as if our unannounced visit has long been expected. But only 2 of you will enter. It is agreed amongst ourselves that I will go representing Jandar, and Beldun will go as Olar's representative.
All right, Jeremy. Well, if you want to, do you want to try and take the rest of it? If Vidar's in there somewhere, I think Vidar speaks actually in a little bit, in a good portion of it. So go ahead and take the rest of it.
No, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Let's see where we're at. Here we are. Belden and I are led through several dark and dusty halls and corridors by the light of the dark-haired Kyrie's lantern. After several twists and turns, we are led through the set of oaken doors into a larger-than-average room. The room is windowless, but is lit by a row of lanterns along each of its walls, the flickering flames of which cause dozens of shadows to dance about. At the far end of a room sits a large dark figure on a raised platform. His wings are great black feathered things. His chin rests propped on a muscled arm. Hang on, I gotta do this right. Like this, I think. Right. After ushering ourselves as close as comfort will allow, the seated Curie raises his head and begins to speak in a low and growling voice. Why have you come here, Thormun, son of Senevig, and Beldun, son of Beldar? I clear my voice, preparing to speak, but I am cut short as Beldun steps forward and drops a knee, saying, I come representing my lord Ular. He wishes to extend to you his hand in friendship. I remain standing, but echo Beldun, and I come in the name of Jandar, who too wishes to pursue a mutual friendship. Vidar leans forward, his face now in the light. Along his right eye runs a large scar. His square jaw bears the shadow of a beard. His long black hair crowds in around his weathered face. In a slow, purposefully enunciated and irritated tone, he replies, And what makes Jandar and Ular think I am in need of friends? We have traveled through your land. We have seen its decay. We only wish to... Vidar cuts Beldun short. You only wish to what? To change the flow of our river's water to move upstream? The water that feeds our land out of Upper Bleakwood in Austria has become tainted by Ugar's horde. Vile and disgusting creatures, they plague the land with their filth. And my own people turn against me. They blame me for this. Fools! They believe that we can simply escape war by running it. They've retreated south into Kinsland beyond my protective reach. I've been abandoned by my own people. My land is dying, and my armies wear thin trying to wrest control of the water source from Utgard. Now what is it you think I have to offer your mutual friendship? We cannot afford to lose Vidar at any cost. I speak with hardly a thought to the tone of my words. You, of all people, are not blind to the events unfolding on Valhalla. I know your eyes and ears reach much farther than your arms in these dark days. What do you think will happen if the rising Morrow threat breaks through Ullr's blockade in southern Ekstrom? Utgard threatens to surround you on all sides. You are fighting a war you cannot win alone. Send aid to Ekstrom, and we will dispatch troops to your cause in Austria. Both fights will be to your own benefit. Belden flashes me a look of concern. I know his thoughts. I have no authority to commit troops to Vidar's aid. But Jandar will understand. He must. It's our only chance to get Vidar to join our cause. There's a long pause as Vidar's dark eyes dig into me. There's no telling what he is thinking. But the fact that he's thinking about it at all works in our favor. Finally, he breaks the silence. So be it. At daybreak, a faction of my troops will march to Ular's aid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this is all we get for Vidar, and it's one of my favorite scenes. I don't know why, but yeah.
They do such a great job characterizing him. At Vidar, I think the writing and your performance, you just really get this feeling of destitution from Vidar.
Yeah. Desperation.
He's struggling. Yeah. He knows, but he's also like, everyone left me, so I don't care. I'm just going to use robots now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Now, I do want to ask who the character who's Belden is. That like a Heroscape character that does not have a miniature? I don't think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Belden does not have a miniature. He's associated with Ular, so he's supposed to be he's Ular's representative. He wears the protector's gear, so I think he's also, if I remember correctly, he's actually in service of Jandar with gear. But yeah, it's just they never made a miniature for him, unfortunately.
Okay, interesting.
If Renegade wanted to catch up.
And then there was another character, like the Herald, that they... Let's see, let me find it. Would that one have a name?
Mm-mm. Just a guy who tends to the manor. One
His
of
name
his attendants.
His name is Harold.
Harold,
Okay, Herald, there you go.
Harold the Herald.
Harold the Herald.
But we already have a Herald in Airborne Elite, so no, think of something else. Bob. Let's call him Bob. Okay.
Yeah, Bob.
Well, it's got to sound like a Viking. It's got to do Viking names, you know.
Bob Dar.
Bob can't be a
Dar.
Viking.
Okay, Bob Dar works.
Yeah. Okay. There you
Bob Dar. I like Bob Dar.
Bob Dar. Bob Dar.
go. That works. Well, I mean, there's not really much action in this. It's more just communication. But I think it shows. It unfolds the drama. It gives a little bit of character development and introduction, and like I said, it shows the desperation that Vidar has in the situation he's in, because he's not really the Valkyrie general that has like masses of armies, and so yeah, I'd be desperate too in that situation. And it just makes me think, when it comes to this story, what are they going to do for Vidar in the future when it comes to like AOA? You know,
See, this is what's so I'm interested in seeing what develops, because Vidar, his final hurrah, I guess you could say, before the game discontinued, we found out he betrays the Alliance.
Right.
And that's it. They don't tell us the thing. It was the ending to Shadow Cavern, which was supposed to be the third online scenario that was developed by the Wizards of the Coast dev team. they didn't get to launch it before the game discontinued, and because of all the tasks and everything that they were then reassigned to after the fact, didn't get to didn't get to release a thing for years. Shadow Cavern drops on the Heroscapers forum in 2012, so 2 years after the discontinuation, and we're all reading it, and we find out that Vidar was supposed to betray the Alliance during the official run of the story, but they didn't get to announce that because the game ended before they could put that out.
So is that going to be something as retconned, or is it going to be part of that?
That's the question. Yeah. Will Renegade retcon what the Wizards of the Coast team was planning to introduce? They just pretend it never happened. I mean, it's a little awkward because it's like the scenario is so weird. You
got Valkyrie too, as part of that equation as well.
Yeah. And the reason why Vidar betrays the Alliance is because the existence of Valkyrie. He considered that they were no longer going to win. So he's like, I got to take my own interests elsewhere. So
I got to start digging underground and creating my own city underground.
It was a betrayal in trying to survive. Like he was just like, look, we got another bad guy, and I got no time for this. So bye.
Yep. Bye.
But that was it. They cut it off right there and then. I think you can play out the scenario of his betrayal because it's like Mika Connor is the one that delivers the news with a giant with a iron golem, and that's the scenario. You have to fight the bad guys, and somehow survive that. And it was just like it's a really cool panic scenario they set up. But that's it. That's all we have. We don't know anything else.
I think Vido is going to become a really big player because he always has a sense of prescience. You can see beyond. He's the one that gets the most from the future and high tech things, and like he knows what's going on. And in Viking lore, Vidar is actually one of the key players in Ragnarok.
God of Vengeance.
So he's. I think we're gonna if Renegade continues kind of this narrative, I think Vidar is going to really kind of surge in power and prominence.
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be getting a Vidar Kyrie, which is extremely exciting.
First time. And then he was already mentioned in the AOA bios because they mentioned him in Admiral. He summoned the Admiral, and then he summoned the Admiral's assassin in the same army. Yeah. And the Admiral was like, "Hell no!"
Yeah.
And he
I want to see that.
drops bombs and leaves.
Stats for that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be the assassin, the assassin Soulborg. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. Like they definitely have expanding more on the Soulborg terms of things too, because they're pushing forward. They are sentient, even though they're machines and things like that. So really good stuff to look forward to.
Okay, so anything else? I know this is kind of like relatively short, not really. It says a bit, but not much. But anything else we want to talk about before we close this up?
I mean, and other than this is going to start wrapping up in terms of storyline. The previous direction they had prior to deciding to move everything down south, right? So like right after this, once we finish up this chapter, you're going to see, because they're basically closing out different parts of the war, the different fights and stuff like that. And once all of that gets solved, once the alliance gets formed, they send them down to the Takala jungle. And so you're right now, this is the start of that like denouement, like they're trying to finish up everything and close out those plot lines. So
for sure,
we're gonna see a lot of finishing stuff.
Oh yeah,
and you'll be like, hey, that's where that came from. It's good. It's pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff.
When we get there.
Right. Yeah, when we get there. But it's like that's what you're gonna start seeing this kind of like you're gonna see this kind of like down, like everything is just explaining the rest of what happened, and then So that was I want to say in terms of like storyline, what we just read was like the climatic point where everything is like, all right, the war starts. Jandar Nular secures a win.
This is when Theoden agrees to fight. Type of thing.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, look for me in the east. That kind of stuff.
Well, so I guess then we'll end it at that. The story is just getting started, and someday soon we will continue reading through Thormun's journals, but that for right now, that was taking a look at Thormun's journal entry number 27. All right, now let us wrap up for tonight. I suppose we give final thoughts and then wind down, because this is already an hour and a half podcast nearly. Wow, it went on a little bit longer than I thought tonight, which is fine. You know, that's how these things work.
Look, time flies when we're having fun.
Exactly, and
Really?
and we were.
Yeah.
We like to yammer.
Yeah, that's
And yammer about heroes.
yammering away. But yeah, and thank you everybody is in the chat tonight. Let's do final thoughts. Jeremy, if you want to go first, go ahead.
All right. Well, as always, it's a good show. Always enjoy being able to take some time out. Like, you know, that was actually one of the things I was looking forward to today because I had a really rough day at work. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to do another podcast. That was yay. So no, it's really nice to have a place to just like nerd up on my favorite tabletop and then tell people about it because it's like, you know, I'm not just playing this game, I'm broadcasting this game, I'm spreading the news of this game, and it's been great to be able to do this with all of you fine gentlemen. Thank you so much for, you know, just entertaining my thoughts as well as being able to discuss with all my crazy lore theories. So yeah, I enjoy the show. We've done some good things in our 53 episode. 53? 53.
Yeah, 53.
53.
We've done some good things in our 53 episodes, so looking forward to more along the line. And yeah, all things Heroscape, thank you again for reaching out to the community and doing that. I mean, $447 is not cheap, especially to recommit and just no charge, nothing. Like that was very kind of you.
Very nice. Yeah.
I'll be first to apologize if I ever gave off a false impression that I disliked you. I don't. I promise.
I've always been simply neutral.
Yeah. It is simply it's a visceral reaction to prices, and mainly because my wallet is empty. I wish to have the money to eventually support you. Until that day comes, I probably won't be able to purchase, but that's not because I hate you. I promise.
Yeah, that's why we give a shout out.
You got a good business going. You got a good business going, and I want to give you, to all those that can help support that business. I mean, go ahead and do so, right? I mean, he's putting that work in, and he wants to work with the community. So I think that's really cool. We should definitely see what we can do to bridge that gap and rid the misinformation, because I think there are a few Heroscapers out there that might think he's a bad guy for the high prices. No, we should more of this kind of stuff to like show it's not all what we think. So that was pretty cool. I was when I saw the show, the show plan, I was like, all things Heroscape, So this was a good time to change some perspectives, and you definitely changed mine. So I'll be the first to say I'm glad to hear that this is good stuff. Yeah,
gotta give credit where credit's due.
For sure. And then of course we got to discuss about the custom projects and custom glyphs. All the custom people out there, all the 3D printers out there, resin casters, you all do some amazing work. So like keep it up, and definitely never feel bad about posting your stuff. Spam your work out there, because how else are people going to know about it if you don't share it? So we are here to share that work. And honestly, I feel like if you ever have anything you want to share, you can DM any of those, right, on the through the links in the description, whatever, and we can help get you some time on the show to be like, hey, here's your creations, here's your cool Heroscape based stuff. Like this space is also something we want to commit to the community as well. So it's just nice to be able to do that and see the work out there. And last thought, love Thormun's journal, my favorite written document. I mean, I'm a bias. I'm so biased. It's unbelievable. But I just when Ryan asked me to be Vidar those years ago, and just the pressure of I was like, how do I get in the role of a Valkyrie general? Good lord, that's
okay.
That's
you only had
stuff,
like two
right?
lines.
So. I did only have 2 lines. You are right, but I also was nervous. Regardless, it was just a matter of like, how do I get this guy into my head so I can kind of put that onto the into the show. And even with the 2, because here's the deal, I'm just going to defend it, right? Was it Dwayne Johnson? Was it named Groot? I am Groot. That's all he says.
No, that was Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, but he's able to put emotion in those 3 words, and he has different ways of saying "I am Groot" depending on the scenario. So even 2 lines is important.
Yeah, for sure.
Just saying.
I say you nailed it.
I am Vidar.
Yeah, that's like an emotion into those 3 words, man. I worked very hard for that. But
we are Vidar.
Exactly. That's right there. We're clipping that part. Oh no, so just that with that role, when he gave me that role, I read this part in Thorn's journal so much because I was like, I need to get this this dude's pain into the words and things like that because he's not just fighting to fight. Like Utgar's fighting to take over, Jandar's fighting to defend honor and justice. Vidar's mad. He's like, bro, everyone left me and my land is poisoned, my people are gone, you suck. I'm just gonna beat you up because I can.
I'm gonna
And
take my ball
that's
and
what
go
he's
home.
and summoning all these robots. Because here's the thing, Solborg don't mess around, right? So like, I'm pretty sure Utgard, like we don't have any context as to why Vidar dropped Utgar early on because he actually was a bad guy. Vidar worked with Utgar in Rise of the Valkyrie, and then we don't know what caused him the rift, but I imagine it had something to do with poisoning his water. Obviously, if you're gonna ally with somebody, don't poison their water source.
Somebody's poisoned the water hole.
literally. And so Vidar is now with the good guys, and so that's where we're at, and it was good stuff. But with that, I am Croton Jeremy, also many names out there. I run the Eslan Collate, a lore-based content creation platform, and we mentioned earlier, working with Extra Life to raise money for children's hospitals by using Heroscape.
A little bit more donated there too for you, Jeremy. So
yeah, I saw. So want to take the time to shout out. Thank you so much for the donations we received during the length of the podcast. It's really special, and I really do appreciate it. And of course, we'll honor the agreement. We now have 3 Heroscape characters that I'll be working on, and we'll definitely be talking to each of these individuals about their designs. Heck yeah! So
that's awesome.
Yeah, and with that, I yield my time.
All right, and I was about to say Joe, but he's moving stuff.
Oh, he bound. Yeah.
Jason, go ahead.
All right, well, I kind of got here maybe, halfway through the show and missed the whole first part going on?
Kinda, yeah.
So anyway, my thoughts are mainly a couple good stories here about some of the lore of Heroscape. And to be honest with you, though, I think I know what story Ryan's referring to here for the after show. And that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most. I've been waiting weeks and weeks to hear about this because
remember to do it.
It's probably going to be intense. So that is probably going to be my highlight. So anyway, I'm Jason, the creator of the Tabletop Battlefield, and you can find me over on YouTube and under the name Rocco Robotics.
All right, thank you, Jason. Joe, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so cool things on the world of me. So last night, by the way, I got to do something that I am so stoked about, which out of all of us here, Josiah's the only one that knows. And that is that I painted my very first figure for Heroscape. Woo! And I'm not done with him yet, and I will be making some kind of video about it. But I painted the T'Challa Titan.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
And I will post pictures on both the Tales of Valhalla Discord and my own personal Discord. And I have a lot of different pictures of me doing the base coating and all the details and the washes and the dry brushes and stuff like that. So this is a terrible look at it, but please join the Discords to go check out those awesome pictures. And like I said, I will be making a video about it. But I am so stoked to paint. I want to continue this. I can't wait to continue this. Shout out to my best friend Glenn for helping me, teach me some of the stuff that was all about it, about painting, and letting me borrow his paintbrushes and equipment. But I learned all about different things about the different style. I got my hands on with styles of painting, between the dry brushing and doing detail work and doing washes, learning about the different colors and types of paints out there and brands and a palette paper. I got to use that, different types of brushes, long ones, short ones. I got the whole lowdown. So I can't wait. I'm ready. I was an absolute blast. If you've been on the edge of I don't know if I want to paint or not, if you have someone that is painting, go hang out with them let them have you paint something. Don't wait. Just get it. Just do it. Just do it.
And it saves a lot of money too.
It saves a lot. Yeah, it does. I think in the long run it does. It's a great way to stay in shape. So, mentally, it's a great way to stay in shape mentally. So there's that bit of news, and then I had to take some time off to get the Heroscape Adventure video done. I'm working on that still. I am crossing my fingers. It will be done by this coming weekend. So ScapeCon East, Heroscape Adventure footage, that's coming out soon.
Let's go.
So I'm working on that. But yeah, lots of stuff working on my end. Video is very busy guy over here. Looks like we got an extra comment over here from Jonan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
I see that.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for checking out the Titan.
I'll be sure to shout out whatever comments are there in a second. But Josiah, go ahead and wrap it. Okay, wait a second. Okay, Joe, go ahead, show it. There, big screen, you're showing it there. Look at that. Ooh.
Yeah, it's here.
That's so cool.
You're just taking your first step into a larger world.
Very sinister looking. Yeah, nice. Wow, and I can kind of see the outline of that too. Wow, that's nice. Yeah, you need to give us a detailed picture there. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll show you guys the pictures. But yeah, so don't forget,
I'm so proud.
I am not crazy. I am Joe crazy, and I yield my time.
All right, Josiah, go ahead.
Well, I am Josiah, otherwise known as the Heroscaper. A lot of fun things tonight. Pretty chill session, but really just enjoyed talking to everyone. Talking to all things Heroscape. As someone who does commissions and sells things, their packaging is really, really great. I didn't mention that before, but they have like their signature square black boxes. They have a logo on it. And also up until recently, they were pretty much the only place you could find a picture of every Heroscape unit. Like a good detailed picture. So that's always a good resource to have. They're actually what inspired me to make my series with the turnarounds, is because like this is the only place that has them. But in terms of what I do a bit of everything. Got some projects cooking that should be dropping in a week or so. Definitely, as Joe mentioned, painting is, I kind of like to hang in the art corner, so I do a lot of painting tutorials. So be looking out for how to paint the Templar video dropping pretty soon. And some other really fun stuff. I work on like 4 projects at the same time. It's a bad habit I have because my ADHD brain just goes whoop. And so things are cooking and we're having fun here. But other than that, just looking forward to the future of Scape. Looking forward to August, where I have like 4 new games coming and going to meet a lot of cool people at ScapeCon. So I'll be there if you want some figures. Don't want to pay ship, and definitely reach out to me on Discord or on the Facebook. And with that, I yield my time.
All right, thank you, Josiah. And again, links description below for everybody, everything. Check them out if you're watching on YouTube. And yeah, okay, let me get this chat here. Okay, we got John and Jello commenting. Get those second. Hexalis says, thanks for the show. I learned some new stuff. This was great. Thank you so much, Hexala or Adam. I think probably would be commenting via Hexala, but maybe both husband and wife are listening. But thank you guys so much. And John and Jello says, hey folks, I seem to be catching the end of this live. We'll revisit the show. Thanks. That is okay, Jonan. Let's see, yeah, to call it Titan is really cool. Let's see, I was eyeing both on Etsy and eBay for the 10 millimeter figure. Yeah, Spider Bonding, great stuff. Yeah, I personally have a Takala Titan as well, graciously given to me by Josiah, the Heroscaper himself. And yes, it's a fun one to play. But with that, I thank everybody for watching. It's been a fun podcast. As for myself, do live streams every Sunday, every Wednesday. When it's not doing this podcast, it's like playing Heroscape against myself. Basically doing skirmishes, trying to figure out more about the game, because I'm clueless about a lot of things, and so it's good to understand, prepare myself for ScapeCon this year, actually prepare myself for ScapeCon this year, and skirmish armies, and get myself mentally ready for that. And I also do stop motion animation of Heroscape miniatures. If I haven't mentioned that for a zillion times, I'm going to mention it again. And am currently editing a character introduction for Nigok Saw and wrapping up with the special effects on that. So getting close to getting done with that video. Plan to premiere it sometime, hopefully in the next couple of months. But if I'm not doing any of those things, that's what I'm doing. Just streaming a little bit of the editing process, the production process of those stop motion animations. So that's probably doing this Wednesday. But with that, I thank everybody for watching. Everybody there in the chat, all the comments, all the support you're giving Jeremy and the organization that Jeremy's supporting. Appreciate it so much. And again, for the backstage, yes, we have a ToV we have a backstage to this podcast, which you can find on our Patreon. If you become a Patreon supporter, you can do it as little as $1. And so go ahead and check that out on the ToV Patreon, which there's a link in the description below for that as well. If you want to become more involved with the community, by all means. Or we also have a Discord as well. So with that, I thank everybody for watching. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it, and we'll see all of you next time. Later now. Bye 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 bye.
Yeah.
Bump, bump.